What is up guys, Paul James here. If you're looking for a simple way to earn money, today I'm gonna give you a walkthrough of how to use Google Maps. Now if you're a business owner, you're trying to get more customers, or even if you don't have a business, you can still use Google Maps to help other people make money too. And the cool part about this is that this works anywhere in the world and you can get started without spending any money up front. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in my friend John Shea, and he's gonna walk you through the process of how to make money with Google Maps, even if you're just getting started, as long as you smash that like button.
Hey, what's going on guys? John here. Thank you again, Paul, for that introduction. And what I wanted to do today, as Paul mentioned, is I'm gonna show you guys a little bit about a platform called Google My Business. Now, if you've been following Paul for any length of time, you've probably seen some of his past videos on how you can go about actually utilizing, helping business owners with Google My Business. So this is what Google uses to actually display businesses all within Google search. So if you do any typical search like restaurant near me or plumber near me, electrician near me, you're going to get a list of Google Maps that show up. So here's an example of where I went to Google and I typed in Med Spa in Newton, MA for Massachusetts, and you can see there's an ad up here at the top, and then below this we have this listing of maps. So these are all businesses that have actually gone ahead and set up a Google My Business profile within Google. And what's so powerful about this is most people, if I were to have been looking for a med spa in Newton, and generally they're going to go for one of the businesses that show up here in the top 3 of the listing. Really, the benefit here to you as someone that wants to go out and help business owners and actually get paid to do some of this stuff, you can go through this more places listings, and you can go through and find businesses that are not showing up all that high, and you could offer to help them with their Google My Business profile and really just enhance it so they'll have better chances of showing up higher in the map listing. So what I'm going to do today in this video is walk you guys through some things that you could do for your Google My Business listing and show you how easy it is to go and optimize this, give you some of the ways that you can go in, and if you do actually start helping a business, this is going to be something that it's going to be really easy for you to go in and find little things that maybe they just haven't done. So what I've done for this example video is I'm actually going to walk you guys through a med spa that I actually work with. I help them with their website and kind of help them get the Google My Business page up and running. They're mostly managing it, but they've actually done most of the basic things that need to be done. So that's what I want to use this as an example. So this is pretty much what it looks like once you've logged into Google My Business and you have control of a business page. You're going to have a few things here at the top. You can go ahead and create posts, which pretty much just act as like social media posts. You can add photos, or you can even create ads, which will use Google AdWords. You also can see performance of the listing, like how many people were finding the business on search, how many people found the business on maps. They have like a coupon you can use for starting out with Google Ads. Here was like the most recent post that the business did, and you can see we actually got 309 views. So they're getting visibility when they post these offers. We could see their reviews, all of the customer photos, and it wants us to add a profile short name, and that basically would get us to 100%. So that's the only thing I think they haven't done. But there's a whole list of different things that they'll have you do initially when you come in, which could be things such as like adding business hours, putting in your phone number, all the basic things to get the profile 100% complete, adding your photos, all of that stuff. You can view your business on Google Maps. So like, for example, if I click this link, we'll be able to see how they look on Google Maps to someone else. So you can see they have the 89 reviews. It's got their address, their website, their phone number, the business hours, all of the information about their business on Google. So fairly straightforward there. We can also see other things that similar competitors are posting. So you can get ideas about things that you can create in terms of your own posts. And this is a service, again, you guys could like offer this, right? Like if you got control of a Google My Business listing, you could be coming in and optimizing all these things for them, like creating these posts, creating offers, and doing all this stuff on a regular monthly basis. You can also now start accepting bookings within Google My Business, which is really powerful. If you want people to be able to book right off that map listing, you can actually add a link and sync that up with a booking software of some kind if people wanted to book meetings. I know this particular company has like a booking software that isn't compatible with it, but that's something that you could definitely do with certain software. You can actually set this up to get messages from customers. So if you want to get like basically private messages right through Google, you can do that. I know a lot of businesses may not want to manage that because they're already doing email and other things, answering the phone, but that is an option you have. And then in addition to this, I'm just going to go through all the kind of categories and sections here. So if we go into posts, starting from the top left, you have the option here. You can come in and add like specific events. Maybe they're going to be doing something special upcoming. You can add special offers, and you can even add products. Like maybe if they were selling like, like some sort of face cream or something like at the med spa, they could actually add this as a product that people could purchase and learn more about right through Google My Business. So you'll be able to see all these different offers in any recent posts. You can basically get an idea of all the stats. So like here was one that they did. This is like the last one they did, which was in March. And we can get an idea of all the different things that they've done from past offers, things like that. So like they haven't done events, but all of this is available to you as an option for things that you could be managing for a client. Now, when it comes to info, the biggest thing is actually filling all of this out and making sure that you do this in depth as possible. So the first thing is obviously going to be the business name. And then you have the option here is you can add in multiple categories. So I highly recommend picking a primary category that you're going to use. So in this case, you can see their primary category is medical spa, but then we have additional categories as day spa and laser hair removal, which is one of their most profitable services that they offer. I know this particular business even does like yoga classes at night, and I could add like yoga studio, but you're a little bit limited on the amount of different categories that you can add here. So definitely just be wary whenever you're working with a business that offers multiple services, you just pick one as the primary service, as the primary, whatever it is that they mainly do as an offer. The other thing you can do here is add a service area. So we could say, hey, they service people within 20 miles of this area. You can add business hours, you could set up holiday hours, phone numbers, you can add a short name for the business, which they actually haven't done yet. We added a website, so obviously they have a website where people can go and find more about the business and learn about them through that site. Google additionally has an option where you can actually build a website through Google's platform, and it's like a drag and drop editor. I don't particularly recommend that if you're going to be like charging a business to do that, but if they don't have anything and you just don't know how to do like WordPress, that would be a good option for you guys, is maybe like learn how to use that editor and then go and actually, build a basic little website if, you don't know how to do WordPress. You can additionally add like services here. So, if I wanted to come in here, I could go and add like different items and prices and descriptions. And in this case, we're not doing that here because they don't want to publicly show their prices. But like, let's just say they knew that, okay, no matter what, like when they offer a massage, it's going to be like $60 for a 1-hour massage. We could actually come in here and call this massages, put like $60, list it out as 1-hour massage, and then we could put a description, and all the people that are finding this listing are going to be able to find that information about the business before they even call them or contact them, or potentially even visit their website. I do highly recommend adding a description here. You can mention the accessibility, like, is it easy to get into the building with like a wheelchair, right? I know this particular building, I've been there, they have an elevator in the lobby. You can literally just come right in off the sidewalk. So them having this here is going to make people aware, like if there is someone with a wheelchair, they can get into the building. You can add an opening date, and then photos we'll get to in a bit. Other than that, not too much here. You can add, this is something new that Google is doing, is that you can have customers use a Google Assistant to actually book, and this is something they do have enabled. So that's something I would look a little more into before you enable this for a business, but that is something that you could potentially set up for them. Another really cool thing that you can do with the Google listing is you have the ability to look at insights. Like you can learn more about what's working for them. So we see discovery is basically where most of the customers are coming from, people directly looking for the business, and then some branded searches like around, people typing in like the actual name of the business. So I can see all the different queries, like people are typing in, this is the actual business name, these are variations of the business name, and then there's a lot of people looking for like facial services or massage or spas or med spa near me. So these are all relevant for this business. Then we can see how many views they're getting in search on maps, how many actions are being taken. So this is a really good page that if, let's say you're working with a client and you're managing this listing for them, this is a good place you can come in and just take screenshots, right? I have this little app here, I'll drag it over. It's like a little sun. This thing's called Jing, and I can actually come in here, click this little capture, and I can come in and basically grab screenshots and take those of different things, and then I could send that to my client. So I could be like, hey, look, in the last, 30 days, you can filter this by week, month, or quarter. I could say, hey, within the last 30 days, you got 199 phone calls on your Google listing. And they're going to be like ecstatic to know that, hey, we're seeing more visits to the website, we're seeing a lot more people requesting driving directions, and ultimately a lot more phone calls. We can also see the area of where we're getting driving directions, days that we're getting phone calls, and popular times for the business, as well as how many people are viewing photos that have been added for the business. We can also compare how many photos we have compared to our competitors. So they're actually getting 285% more views on their photos than their competitors, and that's because they actually took the time to go and add lots of photos of some of the work that they do. So the next thing I want to get into is review. So this is another thing that you could do for your client, is ultimately coming in here, you could see like, unfortunately they got like a bad review, and the owner actually came in here and offered, hey, sorry for the inconvenience. They're basically coming in and they're actually concerned and trying to offer good customer service. I can't tell you how many times I look at other listings where I'm going out and I see that nobody is even replying to these reviews. reviews. So that's a really huge missed opportunity where if the business owner isn't taking the time to do that, it just doesn't really look good, right? It's not a good perception on the business if they get a bad review and then nobody's replying to it. So this is all stuff, you guys, like if you get into conversations with business owners, you can talk about this stuff and sell them just based on the fact of like these little basic things like this, right? Like things that they're probably not doing that they should be doing. The next thing is messaging, and obviously we don't have this enabled, but that's the one-on-one messaging. Beyond that, you have photos, right? So you have a lot of opportunities here. You can go in and actually create photos that are added specifically by the owner. So like this is stuff that they've uploaded. These are like promotional things, photos of like their team, employees, and different offers, things like that. You can add, additionally, these are photos that customers would have uploaded, maybe like outside a building or like the inside of the office or anything else that they've added. You can have 360-degree like videos or photos taken of the building, and then those can be added here. You can add videos, which they don't have any yet, but that would be another really good opportunity because these can get massive amounts of views on the business. Google does have like interior and exterior. So like, I don't know, this exterior one doesn't look very good. I'm not even going to open that, but these interior ones like look really good, right? Like you kind of get an idea of what to expect when you walk into their office. Then you can also have photos at work, which they haven't done, unfortunately, but additionally, you could do team. Some of these they haven't categorized properly. So like here, I can see like this is like a spa party. So this is like employees or customers. So they could totally be going and adding these like at work or in the team category, and just having more photos in all of these categories and consistently adding photos is going to be huge for getting the business a lot more traction. So these are things you can work on with the business, right? Like you could be like, hey, I'm going to need more photos of your employees. I'm going to need more photos of the outside of the building where you're at. I'm going to need some photos of the inside of the building. Let's do like a 360 video at the building. You could hire someone to do that. And additionally, you can do identity, which would be like logos or things like with branding on them. Like this one here has their logo kind of in the background in the interior. It's not the best example, but probably more like a website logo you'd want. Beyond that, you've got the bookings functionality. They've recently added this products, which is in beta, but that's something new that you can start exploring depending on the business that you're working with. Again, we already talked about services. We talked a little bit about Google does offer that website functionality. And then in addition to that, you also have the ability to manage users. So this is going to be really important for you guys is you can see we have like a primary owner and then we have managers. So primary owners have full control of the listing and they can do everything with that listing in terms of like being able to delete and add new users. Managers have that same privilege, but they cannot remove the primary owner. So typically what you would want to do is the business owner would become the primary owner. And if for some reason, like a lot of people usually have struggles with this, you could go in and basically claim primary ownership, and then you could pass that ownership back on to the owner. And I like to do that a lot because most people, they're like, I don't understand this stuff. I don't know anything about it. You know, you do everything, right? And all you have to do is send them basically it'll send an email to them and they just have to hit accept, and then they'll become the primary owner. And then that way, if you ever stop working with the client, you don't have to be the one who's responsible for that listing. So beyond that, that's pretty much a walkthrough of a lot of this, guys. What I would tell you, just to kind of leave this as a conclusion, is pick a specific niche that you want to go into. So in this case, let's just say we want to go after plumbers and go help them with their Google My Business listing. I just did a search here. We're going to go to the listing. We're going to see the top 3. You're going to click on more businesses, and then you're going to get the full listing, and you're going to go through and find listings that are missing information, right? Like you know that they have things that could be worked on. So for example, I found this Paul Flaherty Plumbing and Heating. If you see this own this business, this means that nobody has ownership of this Google listing, and we have an opportunity to now come in and take a look at this and help them out with it, right? And they're missing business hours. There's like a photo of like a bush here and a tree and then a house in the background, right? Like the whole thing is just a mess. So it's possible that this guy's out of business, or it's very possible that he just doesn't know how to do this. And even for the guys that are doing it, right? Like if we go in and we look at this guy Baker, you can see he's got some photos, there's some stock stuff in here. It looks like he's got the business hours, but then he has a bunch of bad reviews and nobody's replying to them, right? So there's a huge missed opportunity where I could reach out to a business like this and be like, you know, hey, what if I could actually help you out with your reputation? You know, I could help you get your Google listing back up. We could try to work on getting some better reviews, and you could show them some strategies on how you could approach this, right? So even the people that maybe have claim listings or have at least done something with the listing, there's a huge opportunity for you guys to come in and do this. So anyway, I'll leave this in back to Paul. If you guys have any questions on this, leave us a comment on the video, and I look forward to seeing the comments on this one.
So now that you know how Google Maps works, you can either use this to increase your own business, or you can do what John and I do and charge business owners upwards of $1,000 a month to handle this all for them. Now we have a free masterclass in the description of this video if you'd like to learn more about how we find business owners to pay us to do this. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and drop down and hit that subscription button and bell notification icon so that you get notified of our next video. Also, if you're not following me me on Instagram yet, go ahead and follow me at HelloPaulJames for some behind the scene footage. Anyways, until next time guys, I am Paul James. Peace out.